Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining Dotdigital's latest webinar. It's really great to be here and to see so many of you attending today. As way of a quick intro, my name is David Bruce, and for about 12 years now, I've worked with lots of Dotdigital's customers and prospects, trying to help them get the most out of their journey and use of SMS. My role at Dotdigital allows me to speak to those customers and prospects at all stages of their journey with SMS, and it's great to have the time to share some of my insights that I've picked up along the way. I hope that you'll learn something from today's webinar. The hope is that I can bring SMS to life for you, give you a flavour of its importance, its relevance and its capabilities in the next 45 minutes or so. So let's sit back, listen in, and let's get started on how to unlock the power of SMS marketing. Quick confession, we decided to bring this webinar to you as a pre-recorded event. However, right now, I'm also watching along with you. So if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please send them in via the chat function in Zoom, and I'll endeavour to get back to you before the end of the session. Any questions I don't get round to, I'll contact your customer success or sales rep and make sure you do get the answers that you need. In today's webinar, we're going to take a look at some of the key reasons that make SMS such a great channel for reaching your audience. So firstly, we're going to take it back to the beginning, and we're going to look at some of the basic principles behind building your mobile database. That's not only important for businesses that don't already collect mobile numbers, but it's also as important for businesses that want to grow their audience too. SMS is a great channel for driving creativity, for driving revenue and engagement. So we'll look at some really powerful ways that Dotdigital can help you succeed with SMS. As part of this, we'll dive into the Dotdigital platform, and I'll show you how easy it is to create an SMS campaign. Then, this is great news, I'll be joined by Amanda from My Deposits, one of our SMS award nominated customers, and we'll be chatting about their journey and experiences with using SMS. And finally, we'll finish off with a summary and some key takeaways from today's webinar. Right, so I wanted to start by setting the scene and sharing some industry stats that have underpinned the importance and continued success of SMS for the last 32 years. Yes, that's right, believe it or not, the text message is 32 years old, and it's been used as a channel for person-to-person and also business-to-person communication since 1992. I'm guessing that's probably older than some of you on the webinar today, but sadly not me. As I said earlier, I've worked in the mobile messaging space for about 12 years. And in that time, almost every year, I've heard somebody in the industry say that this year will be the death of SMS. Whether that's because of Facebook Messenger, push notifications, email, or WhatsApp. But the humble SMS, with its 160 characters, keeps on growing in popularity, finding new use cases along the way, to the point where in today's world, as consumers, we expect to receive an SMS as part of our customer journey with the brand. Yes, it's true, we use SMS less and less for arranging our social lives these days, and it's pretty safe to say that WhatsApp rules the roost in large parts of the world. But the undeniable and continued rise of SMS over the years has been driven by businesses like yours adopting it as a channel for communicating with customers, for alerts, for reminders, and of course, for marketing. So what's helped drive that growth? Well, the text message inbox is native on your phone, so you don't need to download an app to receive messages. So regardless of the age or functionality of the phone, it can receive an SMS. No limitations on who you can reach. It's been recognised in the industry that SMS has an open rate of 98%. So if you send 100 text messages, that means 98% of them, or 98 of them, will be read. That's pretty staggering. The second well talked about strength of SMS is that it offers an immediate way of engaging with your audience. 95% of messages received are read within 3 minutes. It's incredibly powerful. Just think, you've got to tell 2,000 parents that their children's school is closed due to snow. An SMS will do that immediately. Or you want to finish a 24-hour sale with a flourish. A well-timed SMS to say that you only have 1 hour to shop your 50% online offer, and it's sure to drive extra engagement. On screen, you'll see a fine array of mobiles from across the ages. The reason I've included them is to highlight the evolution from dumb to smartphones, meaning that a brand could drive a consumer directly to an offer, track their order, or check details of an appointment. When a URL is included in SMS, statistics show as many as 33% of recipients will click on it. One click, and you have a customer engaging with your products right in the palm of their hand. As my daughter would say, mind blown. And when asked, 85% of modern day smartphone users would prefer to receive a text message from a brand over receiving an email or taking a phone call. It's primarily these reasons why SMS continues to engage. It continues to grow globally, and it can boast an average conversion rate of over 29%. Right, pause for breath. We're 6 or 7 minutes in, and we've already covered a lot. I wanted to take a step back and a minute to caveat some of what I've just said. While I can't deny SMS is a fantastic channel, and you'll see on screen some of the reasons. However, even with those compelling figures and stats, we still need to be mindful of how, as brands, we use the channel to engage with consumers. Like any form of marketing, you can't just fire off a text message or a series of messages to your audience without thinking about best practice, without thinking about the tactics needed to maximize engagement, and of course, without thinking about your target audience. You'll need to get to grips with some of the elements that will help to create successful SMS campaigns. And we're going to take a closer look now at some of those tactics. I think this is fair to say. If you don't have somebody's address, you can't send them a letter. If you haven't got their email address, you can't send them, well, an email. So it goes without saying, even though I'm going to say it, that if you haven't got someone's mobile number, you're not going to be able to send them a text message. So, as a brand, if you want to start using SMS as a channel for engaging with your audience, or you want to increase the number of mobile numbers that you already have, there are several things you need to consider when it comes to collecting mobile numbers from your customers. Picture this. We've all received a text message or an email from a brand we've never heard of or don't remember signing up to. And when that happens, how does that make you feel? Personally, it makes me feel a little wary of the brand. Perhaps I'll question the validity of the message or the offer. Or worse still, I might consider it to be fraudulent. None of these outcomes are positive for your brand. So, how do you minimize the risk of this happening when you send out an SMS campaign? Okay, we're starting with my number one rule. So, if you take away nothing more than this from today's webinar, but I do hope you'll take away a lot more than that, but if it's one thing, then let it be this. Be transparent. Be open, be honest. At Dotdigital, we talk a lot about being a consent-based marketing platform. That means that any data being used by our customers to communicate to their customers has been collected with their consent. That's the same for email addresses, mobile numbers, push IDs, or WhatsApp profiles. Transparency and honesty about what you intend to do with someone's mobile number will build trust and it'll build advocacy. It gives people the information they need to decide whether to engage with your brand and let your messages into their inbox or not, but that's the idea. It's their choice. So building on that, here are some ideas for helping you to build your database. Firstly, you should be asking for mobile numbers wherever you ask for data. That can include adding a mobile field to your forms. For example, when you ask a customer to create an account, register for a webinar, book an appointment, check out their basket, or fill out a survey. If you remember, when you signed up for this webinar, we asked you for your mobile number. And if you provided it, you would have received an SMS yesterday and one today reminding you of the event. A simple but effective way of engaging with your audience in a timely and relevant way. And if you look back on that form where we asked you for the mobile number, you'll see quite clearly at the bottom the intended use of your mobile number. By giving someone the option to include their mobile number as a way of you communicating with them is a great first step, and it clearly shows the consumer is happy to receive text messages from you. Another option could be to provide incentives for those who consent to mobile marketing. This could be in the form of discounts, VIP benefits, competitions, or downloadable content like an ebook. One of the most popular examples of this is when brands offer you a percentage discount for signing up to receive marketing messages. Again, by being transparent and offering a clear reason why you're asking for someone's mobile number really helps to build their relationship with you. Lastly, and importantly, by amplifying mobile data capture across all of your channels and encouraging mobile signups at every customer touchpoint, you're more likely to grow your mobile contacts list. Common examples of this are using your marketing emails or email journeys like a welcome series to offer incentives for adding your mobile number. You can also use social media channels, events and webinars. We've also seen companies use web popovers, homepage banners to drive data capture too. H&M, for example, use in-store promotional material to offer 10% off if you sign up to receive SMS marketing. They do this by asking you to text H&M to a short code, and in response, you get a code back to show at the till. By elevating your mobile strategy across all of your other channels, you're giving the customer the opportunity to tell you how they want to be contacted. If you limit it to just email, they don't have that choice. Right, another pause for breath. I hope you're all still with me. Now, we're going to try and dial things up a little bit here. We've talked already about collecting mobile numbers. So now we need to consider some of the tactics that we can use to make our text messages land with a bang, but really have an impact. So let's dive into some of the ideas and some of the principles that I consider to be most important and that will make the most impact. Right, firstly, branding and personalization. If you take a look at your own phones and the text messages that you receive on a day-to-day basis, in a lot of cases, you'll see a couple of things that are common for most SMS. The first one is the friendly from name. You'll see this at the top of the SMS, and it's usually the name of the brand sending the message. It gives you instant brand recognition, and it gives you confidence that it's from you. With most smartphones, if they're switched off, an SMS will arrive as a banner alert. And part of what you see on that banner alert immediately is the friendly from name. So it's important to include this. On screen, you can see an example of a friendly from name from Pure Pet Food. That's who we get our dog food from. So instantly, I know who the message is from. It's also important at this point to consider personalization. This should be more common than it actually is, bearing in mind how easy it is to do. If you know someone's first name or their pet's name, then use it. Import the data and use it. It's as simple as that. And I'll show you as part of the platform demo later how we do that. By bringing in simple personalization, such as first name, account number, local store, your pet's name, you're making the message to your customer just for them. Still looking at the example on screen from Pure Pet Food, you can see that not only have they used personalization in the first message, it says, "Hi David," but in the third message, they also use my dog's name too. It says Dougie. Personalization in SMS really helps to reduce opt-outs, but also helps to drive engagement. Before we move on, I thought I'd include a picture of Dougie. As you can see, he's pretty happy that Pure Pet Food have used personalization. Now, let's look at adopting AI to drive creativity. At Dotdigital, we believe that AI offers marketers, that's you, your colleagues, the opportunity to enhance skills and power up your own capabilities. AI, coupled with your own valuable knowledge and industry expertise, means that you can drive even greater creativity to engage with your customers. Dotdigital has its own AI engine, we call it Winston AI. And if you're familiar with the platform, you've probably seen it. You may have even used it as part of your email strategy. But it can help to reduce your workload, spark creativity, and unlock data-driven revenue opportunities. But what do I actually mean by that? The tools in our platform can check grammar. They can provide alternative copy with different tones and style. They can shorten your message. They can even take one of your emails and they can convert it into an SMS using that 160 character parameter, but making you take your ideas from an email and use them in an SMS. And that can really help to kickstart your multi-channel strategy. I'll show you a little bit more of the AI tools within the demo in a little bit. The next thing to think about is tracking engagement. And there's a couple of things to this. With any channel that you use to engage with your customers, it's important to be able to track engagement and to see the success of your campaigns. You need to see that the effort, the time, and the money that you invest in your campaigns is going to give you a return. And that's no different for SMS. When tracking engagement with SMS, it's not quite the same as email. So you need to be aware of a couple of things. When an SMS gets delivered to your customer's phone, it's classed as opened, which, for all intents and purposes, is correct. It lands on your phone, you have to look at it. Even if you want to delete it, you have to look at it. So it's classed as opened. That's why so many businesses, to give themselves an extra layer of knowledge and understanding around SMS engagement, is they use a URL within their messages. A URL is a call to action. It allows them to track engagement by seeing who has clicked on the link. I talked earlier about engagement rates of 29% with SMS when there's a URL included. And when done well with the right message at the right time, these numbers are not only achievable, but they're actually beatable as well. We do, however, know that URLs can sometimes be long. And when we're working with 160 characters for a single segment SMS, this can sometimes be challenging, which is why Dotdigital offers URL shortening and tracking. This means not only do you make the most of the space available in SMS, but you can track who's clicked on the link too. Following on from that, but still staying within that kind of tracking and engagement feel, we're going to talk quickly about revenue attribution. Revenue attribution is a powerful way of tracking engagement with SMS. It can report on revenue that's come from your customers that have clicked on a URL in your SMS. You can do that with email, and it's important that we allow the functionality to be able to do that with SMS. At Dotdigital, we call this direct or assisted revenue attribution. Direct attribution is exactly that. If a customer clicks on your URL and goes on to purchase something, then we attribute 100% of the basket value to the SMS campaign that got them there. Assisted attribution, however, looks wider and sees if your customer has clicked on any other email or SMS campaigns in a particular time frame. And if they have, we'll attribute a proportion of their purchase value across all campaigns, and that's assisted. Revenue attribution allows you to see the true value of SMS, and it gives you a clear view of the return on investment from each campaign. Right, really important one here. Deep breath. Sending email and SMS together. This is an SMS webinar, right? But one of its key differentiators and benefits of the channel is when you use email and SMS together. By combining the strength of each channel, you can ensure a more effective and comprehensive approach to reaching your audience. We see a lot of Dotdigital customers start using SMS by adding a text message to an email program, such as a welcome journey, for example. This is one of the reasons why it's important to ensure you're collecting mobile numbers as part of your data capture. If you've got someone's mobile number, you can use SMS at the start of your engagement with them. Set that expectation that you're going to use SMS as part of that strategy. It's a really good tip. For example, you could add a rule that says 24 hours after you've sent somebody a welcome email, send an SMS. It could be just to say hello. It could be to offer an exclusive discount or to tell them something interesting about your brand. Another simple tactic that we see a lot of at Dotdigital, and we see a lot of Dotdigital customers employing, is using SMS as a follow-up to customers that haven't engaged with your email. So for example, send an SMS to any customer we have a mobile number for that didn't click on a link in my last email campaign. That's a great way to not only boost email open rates, but it also helps you understand who in your audience perhaps prefers to respond to SMS over email. You can start building out segments and much better understanding and insight into your consumers' behavior. Research also shows us that by combining the use of email and SMS in a marketing campaign can lead to increased conversion rates. As potential customers receive messages through their preferred channels, they are more likely to take action. Okay, unsubscribe. Really important. Right, take a look at the image on the screen. Do you see anything wrong with it? It's got a friendly from name. Great, Nordina Home. It says, hi David. So it's, they've thought about personalization. It's been sent to me. It's got a shortened URL to drive me to their website. Great. At first glance, everything looks good. But hang on. What happens if I don't want to receive any more messages from Nordina Home? How do I go about telling them? How do I request they take me off their marketing list and opt me out of any future SMS communications? Okay, I could find them on the internet, pick up the phone, call them, send them a message. Maybe they've got live chat, but that's additional hassle and stress that I don't need. The principles say that you have to offer somebody a simple and easy way to opt out or unsubscribe from an SMS marketing channel. One of the key principles of SMS, like email, is to give your audience the choice of whether they want to hear from you. We've talked about adding a mobile field for data capture, which is all about asking your audience if they'd like to hear from you via SMS. But we also need to ensure that we continue to give them that choice. I'll touch on more of this in the demo, but it's essential that if you're sending the marketing SMS, then you need to include a way of your customers opting out. So while the message on the screen follows some of the good practice we've talked about today, it falls down with what I would consider to be the most fundamental part: no opt-out. Okay, great. Thanks for listening so far. It's demo time now. I'm going to try and bring some of the ways in which you can drive engagement, creativity, and revenue with SMS to life by spending the next 5 or so minutes in the Dotdigital platform and showcasing some of the features that can really help to elevate SMS as a channel.
For the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to take you on a whirlwind tour of some of the best SMS functionality that will help bring your campaigns to life. And we'll take a look at some of the ideas and tactics that we've already covered in today's webinar. By the end of the demo, I would have built an SMS that includes the following key components: friendly from name, so who the message is coming from. We're going to include a URL, and we're going to show you how to shorten that. We'll check the length of the message to make sure that it fits within your parameters. We'll use AI to get creative, maybe jazz up my message content, and finally we'll make sure that we're including the all-important opt-out, so customers can choose whether to continue to receive messages from me. So let's move on. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up friendly from name. So we've talked about that a couple of times within the webinar. So we're going to go to settings, we're going to go to SMS settings, and we're going to go to from names. Nice and simple. New name, SMS rocks. We're including that there. A couple of parameters here, at minimum 3 characters, maximum 11. Okay, and that's it. You can have as many of these as you want. So if you do have multiple brands or sub-brands or departments within your business that you want messages to come from, then you can come and set them in here, and then you can choose as part of the campaign what friendly from name you send from. Okay, so we're going to add that one, and it's down here, and we're going to send it as the default. So next thing to do is we go to campaigns, and we go to SMS campaigns here on the left. Right, next thing that we're going to do is going to create a new campaign. We're going to call it SMS Rocks webinar demo. Right, great, nice and simple. Saved, and it's going to take us through to a blank canvas where we can start looking at how we build the campaign. First thing to recognize here is that we've brought through the friendly from name, the sender ID, as it's technically called. We've called it SMS Rocks, so that's great. We've now got a couple of things to consider here. We're going to set the maximum segments for the message. we're going to set that to 1. So for today, we're going to work on 160 characters. That's what SMS originally was. You can now send multi-part segments, which will be delivered as one message, a lot longer. However, traditionally, SMS has been very much focused on shorter amount of content. So we're going to work on 160 characters. Also, it's going to keep my budget down as well. If I go over 160 characters, it's going to cost me twice as much to send that message. If we go over into 3 segments, it's going to cost me 3 times as much. So for today's purpose, we're going to set it as 1. Right, a couple of campaign options I want to draw your attention to here. So first of all, we have send type. Now we're going to send a broadcast today, which is, as you'd expect, you create a campaign, you import some data, you build a campaign, you schedule it, and you hit send, and it sits there until it's ready to go out. That's a broadcast campaign, so it's one to many. Triggered, however, is different. You would build the campaign in exactly the same way, but rather setting a scheduled date, you would go into automation, and as part of your programs, you would include SMS as part of that. So we talked about that earlier. It might be something to do with a welcome message or a customer journey. You send an email out. If they haven't clicked on that email or opened that email, 2 days later, you could send them a triggered SMS, and this is where you build that campaign. But for the purpose of today, we're going to do broadcast. Split test, exactly the same as email. You can have up to 10 different variants of an SMS, and you could change the sender ID, you could change the offer, you could change the URL, you could change the copy completely, and then you could test and you can try and see which lands better with your audience. So, but again, for the purpose of today, we're going to leave that off. Link tracking we've talked a little bit about in the webinar. It's about taking a URL that could be quite long, shortening it down so it fits within your parameters, and also the ability to track people that have clicked on there as well. So for the purpose of today, we will like shortening on, but I just want to show you something with it off and see the difference that it makes. So save. Right, next thing to do, we've set the sender ID, we've set the max number of segments, and we've set a couple of campaign options. The first thing that we're going to do here is now start writing the message. So, hi, talked about personalization and the importance of personalization. I'm going to do a simple piece of personalization, and I'm going to bring in first name. Okay, as you can see on the preview, it's using me as the preview, but it's showing you exactly what that message will look like. Hi, first name. Do you want to unlock the power of SMS? Click the link to find out how. Become an SMS guru with our hints, tips, tricks, and platform demo. We think you'll love how much SMS rocks. Okay. So we've written some content there. I also need to include the URL. So one thing that I'm going to do is get the URL from the webinar that you've signed up to, and I'm going to include that in there. Okay, so we're building out the message. Obviously, let's not forget the all-important opt-out as well. So we're going to put text, no SMS to 66606 to opt out. Right. Pretty standard message. We've got hi, we've got a personalization, we've got the body of the content, we've then got the URL in there, and we've got an opt-out. Looking good. However, I've set my max segments at 1, which is 160 characters. And what we're looking at here is 478 characters. So a minimum of 4 message segments that will go out, which means rather than paying for 1 segment, I'm going to be paying for 4. And the business isn't going to be particularly happy with that. First thing to note here is I can't save and continue, okay, because we've set the segment limit as 1. Validation says max message exceeds your chosen SMS limit. Okay, right. So what do? We've got a couple of things here. Let's go back to campaign options. Let's turn on shorten in the link and hit save. Okay, brilliant. So what we've seen here is the message, this long URL, go down to about 19 or 20 characters, which is brilliant. And more importantly, that is now clickable. And in our report section, you'll be able to see who in your campaign has clicked on those links. So that's a great win. However, we're getting closer, but we're not down at 160 characters yet. We're down at 244. So we're still talking about 2 messages and the validation is still there. So a couple of things that we can do. Going to use this funky blue box down here, which is our AI tools, Winston AI. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to check grammar. Okay, let's get the grammar police in. Let's have a look. The corrected version of the text features corrected grammar and spelling. The word "and" was changed to "an" in the sentence. Additionally, the capitalization of the word SMS was corrected throughout the text. Finally, the opt-out message at the end was written as text no SMS. Right, great. So it's given me some really nice little grammatical features to check. And I like those. I think they make sense. So I'm going to click use and it's going to make a change. What it hasn't done is made any difference to the length of the message. In fact, it's increased it by a couple of characters. So we're still not able to send this campaign right now. It reads better. Next thing I'm going to do I like the tone of it? Maybe not. Let's use AI to have a give me some ideas and some of what it could sound like. So maybe maybe I like it because it's a webinar to be more professional. Maybe maybe I want it to be more friendly, so more people sign up. Let's have a look. Let's try friendly and see what it does. So it's going to give me an option. So I've clicked on friendly. It says, hey, first name, want to become an SMS pro? Check out our link for tips, tricks, and a demo of our platform. We'll know you'll love how awesome SMS can be. And then you've got the URL and you've got the opt-out at the bottom. I quite like that. That's pretty good. If I didn't like it and I thought maybe could try harder, let's hit the refresh button again. Okay, so I want to become an SMS pro. Check out our platform demo tricks. More clicking the link. We'll know you'll love how awesome SMS can be. Still not landing particularly well with me. Let's try witty. Let's see how much of a sense of humor and how funny Winston AI can be. Hey there, first name. Want to become an SMS superstar? We've got you covered with our tips, tricks, and platform demo. Trust SMS. Trust us. SMS is where it's at. Check out the link below to unlock the power of SMS marketing. And at the bottom, if you're not feeling it, no worries. Just text no SMS to 60006 to opt out. It's nice, but maybe overly friendly, and I'm not 100% comfortable with that. Let's go for professional and see what Winston AI comes up with for this one. So we've got, let's take witty off and do it just as professional. So it's not trying to be professionally witty. Hello, first name. Would you like to discover the potential of SMS? Right. This is sounding much more professional, much more along the lines that I've wanted. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to use the copy. Okay. Bad news, reads well, link is short, but it's still over character limit. So we're going to use another feature of Winston AI and we're going to change the length and we're going to shorten it. So let's have a look and see what it does to shorten it. Discover SMS potential, become an expert with our tips, tricks, and demo. Enjoy the benefits of SMS marketing. Link, text, no SMS. I like that. Okay, short, sweet, to the point. I'm going to take out a couple of things here because we don't need the word link. We're going to say, rather than unsubscribe, to opt out, text no SMS to 666. I'm going to switch that around and I'm going to put some personalization back in because I think that's important. And we're going to go with that. So we've got hi first name. I'm going to put a comma in there. Become an expert with our tips, tricks, and demo. Enjoy the benefits of SMS marketing. Link to opt out, text no SMS to 60006. Great. I'm happy with that. And more importantly, it's all the features in there. We've got the personalization, we've got the content, we've got the URL, we've got the opt out, and it's under 160 characters. Great. Happy days. So we're good to go. So the next thing that we would do, validation is gone. So that's great. We're able to move forward, save and continue. Couple of things that we would do here. This is where you would link your audience that you wanted to. So for the purpose of this, just doing my mobile number. But then a couple of things that are really important to hear: select send time. You can send it immediately. However, the majority of people like to schedule their campaign. So we're going to do schedule. You can schedule up to 365 days in advance. Let's go with Friday at 12 o'clock. We're going to set the time zone as UK, because that's where my mobile numbers I'm sending to are. If, for example, your audience was in France or in Germany or in Australia, you would choose the time zone appropriate with the country to the numbers that you're sending to. And then it will say 12 o'clock in their time zone, which is great, rather than you having to work out what's 12 o'clock here compared to 12 o'clock in Sydney. Oh, not sure, I'll add 8 hours or minus 8 hours or whatever it is. So you choose the destination and the time zone of the destination you're sending to. So we've set that. Send speed. Most people send out default sending speed. We typically send around about 800 messages per second, which is over 3 million messages per hour. So we never have any issues with latency or delivery speed, which is fantastic. So normally most people send all at once. However, if the call to action, for example, is to call a call center, or go on your website, and you're maybe worried about the kind of capability of a website if you're sending millions of people to do the same thing. And we've all been there buying tickets, gig tickets, and the website crashes, or Glastonbury or whatever it is. So if you're in a scenario where you've maybe got a limited resource for the number of customers that you've got, you can stagger your campaign over a period of time. So if you wanted to stagger it over 6 hours, it would take the total amount of messages sent down, and it would divide it by 6 and send it out the same amount each hour over that 6-hour period. But for the purpose of this, it would be default sending speed. And then the final one is, if you hit send, typically an SMS will try and deliver to the handset for a period of 3 days. Now that's something that networks have set. So if it doesn't get through because you're in a tunnel, you've got your phone switched off, for whatever reason, it doesn't get through, it will try again later, try again later, try again later. However, if you're sending a message about an event, webinar, for example, and we sent you that message this morning to say, don't forget the webinar at 4 o'clock today, and your phone was switched off, and then you got the message tomorrow, that's not a great customer experience, and that message is completely out of touch and not relevant to you anymore. So what you can do is choose to expire on a particular date and time. So if you wouldn't want that message to be delivered after 4 p.m. today, because the webinar has already started, so it'd be irrelevant. Very good option for sales, for example. So if you had a 24-hour sale that ended at lunchtime on Sunday, so you can set to make sure that that person doesn't receive the message after the event has started. So we're just going to set it as default. We're going to hit continue, and then on the final screen you get a summary page of what the message is, what it looks like, who you're sending it to, the send time, it expires after 3 days, the available credits in your account, and then that's pretty much it. We've got a great campaign, we've got nice and simple, we've got personalization, we've got content of the message, we've got the URL that we can track to see engagement rates, and we've got the all-important opt-out. So bit of a whistle-stop tour. Appreciate that. I know that we're tight for time. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that's given you a sense of what's possible and how easy it is to actually create that and get an SMS campaign up and running.
I think it's important that you don't just take my word for how powerful SMS can be. So that's why earlier this week I spent some time talking to Amanda at My Deposits. My Deposits as a company, they've been nominated for an award in this year's Dotdigital award ceremony. That's the Dotties, which is an event that showcases marketing excellence across all of our 4,000 strong customer base. Our awards are judged by industry leaders who are at the cutting edge of marketing. And this gives our customers the chance and the opportunity to show off their marketing superpowers to a wider audience. My Deposits have been nominated in the best SMS campaign. And as we held the Dotties last night at the Shard in London, I'm super pleased to be able to say that the judges awarded My Deposits first prize and the highly coveted award of Best SMS Campaign 2024. Congratulations to Amanda and the team. It's fantastic news. So let's hear from Amanda at My Deposits and how they use SMS to support their own communication strategy.
Welcome, Amanda. It's lovely to meet you. Thanks very much for sharing your time with us today.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi. Right. Well, let's crack on. Going to go through a few questions just to get your kind of insight, really, and understanding and thoughts behind SMS and how My Deposits have used it. So, I guess for the benefit of the virtual audience, and before we get really into the detail of how and why you use SMS, it'd be great just to get a little bit of background into who My Deposits are, what the company does, and also a bit about your role in the company.
Yeah, cool. So My Deposits are one of the 3 government authorised deposit protection providers. We are powered by a wider company, Total Property, and founded in 2007. We are the experts in all things deposits with over 400,000 members.
Wow.
And protect over £1.3 billion worth of tenant deposits. We believe in choice for landlords, agents and tenants when it comes to their deposit protection. And we offer 2 choices in terms of their rental deposit protection. My Deposit is part of Total Property, as I mentioned. So they are the UK's property market dedicated home for private rented sector products and services. This also includes property redress, client money protect, and also award-winning landlord insurance provider, Total Landlord. A little bit about myself. I've worked with My Deposits for 6 years now, and I am the content engagement and quality lead, which means I'm responsible for overseeing the content strategy across the brand, the quality control, and making sure that our content is aligned with our business goals.
Fantastic. A very busy person. So I really do appreciate you carving out some time to spend with us today. It's always great to have a bit of context to help people apply your story to their own situation. So thanks for that background. Much appreciated. If we turn our attention to SMS, are you able to talk us through why the team at My Deposits decided to use SMS as a channel, really for communicating with your customers, but also some of the challenges that you were hoping that it could help you with?
Yeah, of course. So a little bit of background: we've never used SMS before, and we recently launched our Total Property brand in May this year. So as part of that campaign, we needed to make all of our existing customers aware of not only the new brand, but also how it will affect them and the launch of the new portal. So one of the challenges we have is capturing our entire audience. So not just those that are engaged in our emails, but a wider group of all of our members. So we decided that the multi-channel approach would be used to existing members to update them on both the brand and also the way that they would need to manage their accounts and their deposits. This is the first time that we've utilised SMS as one of our campaigns. So it was an important channel for us to use to reach the additional customers that we may have missed in just an email only campaign.
Okay, that's really interesting, actually. So it's your kind of first step towards using SMS, which is really interesting. We spend quite a lot of time at Dotdigital talking to our email customers about the customer journey, and it's great that you've kind of identified at My Deposits that actually working as a kind of multi-channel solution, SMS can add value to email rather than just kind of looking at it on its own. So that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that. I guess building on that, and now we understand some of the reasons for you guys choosing SMS as a channel. It'd be good to hear about some of maybe the tactics that you used. So it's important when you're using a new channel to try and make the most of the impact, try and make the most of the channel. What were maybe some of the tactics that you thought about and used to make sure that SMS gave you that biggest impact?
Yeah. So what we did is we set up our SMS campaign so it ran at the same time as our email schedule. Right. So they would be dispersed at regular intervals throughout the email sends, so we could maximise our engagement. We also adopted several different tactics throughout the campaign. So one of them was our active customer segmentation. So we segmented our existing database to target both our landlord and agent customers with bespoke messaging that would resonate with each of the audiences. So, for example, our landlord segment received an SMS that had a call to action that would direct them to the new website to learn more. Whereas our agent members, we had a more personalised call to action where they could book in a meeting with their dedicated account manager.
Right.
We also had branding consistency. So we updated our branding to align the campaign with a longer term campaign vision. There was brand recognition between the SMSs and the emails, and then obviously the new website launches. We incorporated our brand slogan together better throughout all of the comms. And we also utilised our friendly from name in our SMSs. So we utilised the use of having my deposits as the SMS name, which is also obviously our friendly from name in our email. So it helped to introduce them and tie both of the brands together.
Brilliant. That's really, really positive to hear. When we speak to some customers, they go, yeah, we've managed to get the friendly from name done. That's great. And we've started sending out SMS. But to hear you talk about 2 or 3 different tactics there. So using the friendly from name, having a personalized approach to different audiences, which is really, really strong. That brand consistency throughout, the way that it matched email and SMS. And it sounds like you've really thought about the content and the call to action as well. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for sharing with that. I guess with any form of communication, especially if it's a new channel, and SMS is new to my deposits, I guess it's important to get a sense of the impact that it's having. You're clearly thinking about it. You're spending time, you're spending effort, you're spending money on a new channel. I guess it's really important that you have some sense of the ability to track the results that you're getting, and also in relation to that cost and effort. Are you able to give us any insight into some of the results that you got back, or how positive and successful the campaigns were?
Yeah, of course. So our campaign ran between March and May of 2024.
Right.
And during that period, we sent just over 220,000 SMS messages to our entire database. So it was substantial in distributing both the new brand and encouraging our customers to engage with the platform. We were very impressed with the engagement that we received from SMS, considering we've never used this as a channel before. During that time period, SMS was actually our best performing channel of direct traffic to the website, and it accounted for over 53% of overall traffic to the website during that time.
Wow.
We also received lots of positive feedback from our customer service team. So we had a lot of our members calling in, emailing, saying that they were great that they've received all of this new information, as they've previously unsubscribed from our email comms. So just hearing that proved that we actually did achieve our goal of reaching existing members that may be not on our email list anymore, and they might have missed really important information.
Great. That's really interesting to hear that it was your best performing channel, which is great. And I guess the 2 channels that you're using are email and SMS, which is great. So you're driving through, you're driving a call to action, you're driving responses from people, and the fact that it's outperformed maybe your initial thoughts and objectives is fantastic, which is great. So that's wonderful to hear. I guess leading on from that, the fact that you have had some positive responses from the campaign that you've done. Do you see other potential use cases for it within the company?
Yeah, so since that campaign, we've actually started to integrate SMS into our surveys and feedback communications. So it's following on from the brand launch and the portal launch, we wanted to kind of get customers' feedback. So we've decided that actually SMS is probably the best approach to take with that. And we've taken a multi-channel approach again. So we're following up the emails with an SMS to kind of just encourage people, in case they've missed it. Yeah, we're trying to get their feedback and their thoughts so we can continuously improve. We're also planning to integrate SMS into our other property brands across the group. So as My Deposits is part of Total Property, we're actually looking to implement these strategies that we've learned across all of the group brands.
Wow, great. That's again really, really positive. I think it's clearly testament to the channel, but also the work and effort that you've done at My Deposits to embrace the channel, and again, not just to go, we're just going to try SMS and see what happens. You're actually going to spent some time thinking about it, you're going to consider it as part of an omnichannel strategy using email as well, which is great. I guess finally, and I'll let you get on with your busy day because I know that you've got lots on. It does sometimes feel like technology never stops. It doesn't pause for breath. Do you have any other exciting things in the future when it comes to channels or ideas that My Deposits might be considering going forwards?
Yeah, I completely agree. Technology is constantly evolving. And at My Deposits, we're always keeping an eye on the different emerging trends and how we can enhance and connect with our customers. So we are exploring kind of several different exciting channels to stay ahead. For example, we're looking into social media integration. So we're looking at ways to kind of expand our support across our social media channels, as well as just email and SMS. And another channel would be paid advertising, that we're leveraging our data insights into paid advertising campaigns to support our brands in achieving their goals. And we're also going to utilise our existing email and SMS databases to make sure that we're targeting the correct people. And I think that's kind of everything at the moment.
That sounds more than enough. I can see why you're so busy. Again, that's great that you're not kind of siloing it. You're considering it as part of a much broader kind of strategy around communications. It's wonderful to hear such positive feedback and news and stories around SMS. So thank you very much for sharing that. Look, a huge thank you. We'll let you get on with your day. It's been great to hear about your journey with SMS and some of the positivity behind it. So yeah, look, thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll let you get on with your day.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Great. Thanks, Amanda.
I really hope you enjoyed that, and hearing from myself and Amanda and the ways that they've embraced SMS and the ways that they are hoping to use it going forwards. They've obviously embraced it, and they can see other use cases for helping them to engage with their customers going forward. So yeah, I hope you got a lot out of that. It was great to hear that success story, which is fantastic. Look, I really appreciate your time this afternoon. I hope you've learned a few new stats, facts, tactics, and ideas that will help you to embrace SMS, either for the first time or to help you elevate what you already do with the channel. Hopefully by now you've guessed that I'm a huge fan of SMS, its reach, its unique capabilities, and how it can really help support your customer engagement strategy. But before I sign off and I let you get on with your evenings, I wanted to summarize some of the key points from today's webinar. Number one, SMS has a read rate of 98%, and of those messages, 95% of them will be read within 3 minutes. So not only does SMS reach a huge audience, you know that they'll read your message quickly. URLs in an SMS not only means you can drive a strong call to action, but you can track engagement and attribute revenue to your campaigns. Number three, start to bring in mobile data as part of your capture strategy, wider strategy, but make sure you tell your customer why you want their mobile number. Be transparent, as it helps to drive trust and advocacy. It's all about the customer. Remember to make your SMS campaigns all about your customer. Use simple tools like a friendly from name and personalization to increase engagement and ultimately reduce opt-outs. Use email and SMS together. Like fish and chips, bangers and mash, strawberries and cream, they go so well together. Email and SMS can lead to increased conversion rates when used together. Number six, let AI help you. By letting AI enhance your own ideas and your own industry expertise, you can start to drive engagement, creativity, and revenue. And finally, whatever you do, don't forget to give your customers the opportunity to opt out if they want to. Thanks again for listening. It's been a huge pleasure to spend the last 45 minutes talking about SMS with you. If you want to find out more and discuss your own ideas about how SMS can add value to your customer strategy, please leave us a message in the chat and one of the team will get back to you. But for now, thanks and goodbye, and have a lovely evening. Thank you.